It's been one of the most extraordinary diplomatic moments of recent months. The United States, normally Israel's loudest defender, openly scolding its ally for what Vice President J.D. Vance has called a stupid political stunt. The phrase, blunt even by Washington standards, referred to a Knesset vote giving preliminary approval to the annexation of the occupied West Bank, a symbolic but inflammatory gesture that threatened to unravel Donald Trump's fragile Gaza ceasefire deal. Vance, visibly irritated at the end of his visit, made it clear the West Bank is not going to be annexed by Israel. The policy of President Trump is that the West Bank will not be annexed. This will always be our policy, and his words carried out the impatience of a friend and the authority of a guarantor. Israel has been warned. Within hours, Benjamin Netanyahu's office released a hasty statement disowning the vote and ordering coalition chairman Ophir Katz to hold all annexation-related bills. The episode exposes two realities: Israel's growing domestic fragmentation and America's renewed leverage. Netanyahu's coalition is held hostage by ultra-nationalists like the mad Bezalel Smotrich and Itamar Ben-Gvir. These two individuals whose ideological fixation on annexation has long undermined Israel's international credibility. The Knesset's 25-24 vote pushed by these hardliners was never likely to pass into law, but its symbolism was destructive, timed to embarrass Netanyahu and test Washington's patience. J.D. Vance's language was deliberate. His insult was not just rhetorical, it was strategic, aimed at reminding Jerusalem that the United States, not the Knesset's fringe, sets the boundaries of post-war diplomacy. And with Secretary of State Marco Rubio following in his footsteps, the message from Washington was unmistakable. The ceasefire must hold. Gaza must be rebuilt, and annexation must be abandoned, and any deviation threatens the wider reconstruction plan and the Arab partnerships Trump is counting on to fund it. Yet beneath the theatrics lies a deeper problem. While Netanyahu may have paused the bills, the machinery of annexation has already been running for years. Since 1967, and especially under his current coalition, settlement expansion has accelerated. Over 700,000 Israeli settlers now live in 160 communities across the West Bank, many in areas that fragment the territory into unviable enclaves. In August, Israel approved 3,400 new homes in the E1 zone, a project that would effectively bisect the West Bank from East Jerusalem, rendering a future Palestinian state geographically incoherent. The international community knows this. The International Court of Justice reaffirmed last year that these settlements are illegal under international law, yet Israel continues to justify them through historical and biblical narratives conflating security with sovereignty, and what Vance's rebuke reveals is that Washington is no longer willing to indulge this fiction, at least not publicly. Trump's team, anxious to preserve Arab cooperation, cannot allow Israel to derail what remains of the two-state illusion. And the irony is acute. A far-right stunt in Jerusalem has revived global attention on an issue the world had almost resigned to forget: the colonization of the West Bank. If Israel is serious about peace, it must begin not with a symbolic restraint, but with practical reversal. And the settlements, many built with state subsidy, guarded by soldiers, connected by separate roads, are not security measures. They are the architecture of permanent occupation. Dismantling them would be difficult, but not impossible. It is the moral and political precondition for any durable solution, no matter what the religious or the political claims are being made by the settlers themselves. The coming months will test whether Netanyahu can keep his extremists in check, whether Trump's envoys can maintain the ceasefire, and whether the world will finally acknowledge that Gaza's tragedy and the West Bank's injustice are inseparable. J.D. Vance's irritation may mark the start of a long overdue reckoning. Israel has stepped back from annexation for now, but unless the settlements are addressed, it is merely pausing, not changing course. In halting bills, Netanyahu bows to American pressure, but true courage would mean more than avoiding embarrassment. It would mean confronting the national addiction to land and control. If Israel wants peace, real sustainable peace, the settlements must go. Anything less is theatre, and the world's seen enough of that.